Marvy, are you okay? You got an owie eye? Is your tummy messed up and your eye hurts? You got something in it. Okay. Something like hit the side of the car and I'm like, not quite sure what that is. Hang on, peeps. Okay, now we're buckled in. What's up, guys? Good morning. It's Josh and Marvy. Marv, we gotta clean this car before Maggie gets here. That's what we have to do. Well, you do have a go. Come here. You poor thing. You got something scratched your little puggy eye. Or you're getting an eyeball infection. And then we'll have to go see Uncle Ted. Not at Uncle Ted's Kennels, but our veterinarian, who is also named Ted. Oh man, when I first moved to Michigan, came across Ted's Kennels in Battle Creek. Will never work with that dude. He was gonna hire me to run his kennel while he was on vacation. And then I saw how he handles his hunting dogs. Actually, excuse me, somebody else's hunting dog. And it was awful. And I was like, I will never work with you. He's like, you're not a real dog trainer. I was like, whatever you say, home skillet, I'm out. But it was the worst feeling walking away from that dog because I knew I was leaving him with someone who was unstable. But there was not a fucking thing I could do. And that was the most frustrating thing ever. I guess I could take these off. I'm not quite awake yet, but we're on the way. And, so Marvy last night had a stomach ache all night. I felt so bad for him. Ooh, all of the bumpiness. Okay, calm down. There we go. It's raining a little bit right now. Nothing outrageous, but definitely raining. If you guys saw the video last night, we kept the video a little shorter. You know, only a half an hour. Only, you know. Ooh, I bumped your head. Sorry, peeps. Maggie thought that I was mean in the video where I said I didn't want to talk about the past. She thought I was mean to you guys. And I don't think I was, but if anybody felt like I was being, I apologize. It's just a simple fact. $1.85 for gas. Shut the front door. I will be getting gas in a little bit, but I gotta get to where I'm going first. Anyway, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just trying to... There's two things that are at play here. One, I don't want to badmouth anyone. Things happened, and they happened the way that they happened because they needed to. I did nothing wrong. People in my past did what they did, and that caused decisions to be made. And it is what it is. There's no victim, and there's no enemy, and there's no whatever. It's just, I want to live my life. So if I sounded mean or whatever, I wasn't trying to. I was just like, yo, the videos are there. You can look at them. But I'm not going to recap in comments each time something new happens. Like, the same thing happened when I broke up with my ex in Pennsylvania. People were like, what? And I appreciate that. I appreciate that people care. And I love you guys for caring. You know I love you so much. But at the same time, when you spend time looking back and explaining, it kind of starts to feel like you maybe did something wrong. And I don't want that energy. Because I didn't do anything wrong. You know? Actually, I made a very good decision. And I made that well before Maggie came on the scene. It wasn't because of Maggie. Although, the universe was clearing a path, for damn sure. And I'm so glad that it did. Because I want to spend the rest of my life with that girl. And know it's a bit premature to say that, but that's my approach to relationships. Although this has been different than any other that I've experienced, to be perfectly honest. But my point is, I'm dating her with the intention of more. That's my firm intention and expectation on every level. And I don't mean expectation as in like Maggie doesn't get a say, because obviously she does. But you could still have expectations, and you could still try to leverage the universe on your own behalf and say, this is what I want, universe. And I'm not trying to mess with the cursed house, but this is my vision of what I want in my life. So I've particularly been trying to focus on Marvy being okay, and, you know, all of us being happy, and having, I don't know, I try not to shy away from discussions on this channel, but sometimes you gotta shy away from some stuff because it's negative, you know? And I want to practice. See, for me, these videos have always been more like a visualization than anything else. I've always kind of used vlogs as my way to process. A lot of times you guys get to see and hear things that I wouldn't say to someone that was sitting next to me. And I think that has more to do with the fact that I'm an introvert. But I'm also a Virgo male up here. Biological female. Yes. Oh, this is something I can talk about. Lynn, you did post a comment that was completely fair. You're like, when did you start calling yourself Josh instead of Angie? And when did this change? Lynn, I've always been male in my head. And I know that's not something that's easy to wrap your head around, and I know it's weird, and I know it's just kind of strange, and so I can appreciate if it doesn't really make sense to you. You are a part of the generation, well, one of the generations that came before me, and that's just another way of saying you're older. Not old, but older. And I know that a lot of this gender stuff is probably confusing. I've always been a boy in my head and in my heart. Well, your heart pumps blood, but basically, like, up here. And I've become a man. Not physically. I don't plan on... I'm not explaining this well. Because it's a hard thing to talk about. And also it's not. And I want to answer your question and answer it with as much respect and seriousness as I can. But it's kind of funny because I get it. Like, changing my name doesn't change my gender. But at the same time, I don't want to go through... dang it. How do I explain this? Okay. I'm not transitioning. And transitioning is the sexual or sex reassignment surgery. I'm not doing that. I don't have the desire to go through the horrific procedures that would make me into what I consider okay, first and foremost, disclaimer time. To anyone who has gone through SRS and has transitioned, I'm not judging you. I think you're incredibly brave. I think you're amazing. I think that that's fantastic for you, and I wish you nothing but the best and happiness. I don't personally believe in unnecessary surgeries. I don't believe in them for me. I would never knock somebody else's right to do what they want to do with their body. Whether it be a woman's right to choose, whether it be another trans person's right to actualize their their true sexuality, whether it be whatever it be. I don't knock that. You do you, and I hope that you're nothing but the happiest, and I have nothing in my heart but love for you. However, for me, wow, that person was wearing an entire outfit made of the American flag. Pants and everything. Her choice. It just really distracted me for a moment. Okay. I don't know who that is. I don't know your number. I'm gonna ignore. I'm sorry. Also, I'm vlogging here. I've done my research. I've seen the options, and they horrify me. And what you end up with kind of also horrifies me. And to me, it's not only just about the surgery, it's also about the fact that it's probably going to sound lame, but I kind of feel like I'm going through this journey, and I'm meant to enjoy this journey the way that it is, and I'm meant to learn things along the way that take me to a different place of enlightenment. And I want to get to that place, and I feel like changing my name excuse me, isn't the same as changing my body. I know physically I will always be a biological female. My gender marker is not going to change on my driver's license. Although for my next birthday, I want to change my name legally to Josh. Josh Michael. Joshua Michael, because that's the name my mom gave me. Well, she didn't pick the Michael part. Actually, I just used the male version of my female middle name. And I also like the way it sounds. Anyway, this is Lynn. I don't know if this is making sense at all, but basically, I always kind of thought that would be my name if I ever were to become a male. And I have considered top surgery because really not happy with what's going on up here. But at the same time, unnecessary surgery, scary, because people lose their lives over that. And it feels to me like I'm meant to live this way for a reason. And I'm not trying to get all biblical on anyone, but that reason is more about me than the rest of the world. Do I think that I'm going to change the world by making my YouTube videos and being my, living as a trans person, living as a trans guy, and obviously, do I think I'm going to change the world? No, but, excuse me, allergies. I'm definitely changing me. And I believe in reincarnation. The Native American in me does. And I believe in circles. I believe that we go through this world and we go through this journey and we're learning. We're learning things. Our soul is becoming more enlightened. And I feel like I'm learning lessons that I needed to learn. And I'm willing to learn them. Excuse me. So you're not going to see me go through the actual transition, but trans doesn't mean transition. Trans means transgendered. Oh. I'll call you back in 1 minute, Caitlin. I'm so sorry. So, living in this body as it is, actually I don't know how long ago now, but a while ago I saw Chris Crocker's video about non-transitioning transgender folk and how that is a thing. And all my life, I thought, if I'm going to call myself trans, I need to be... I'm not going to be trans enough if I'm not transitioning. And that's the thing. Hang on, Caitlin. I will call you in just a minute. Excuse me. I need to be transitioning because I'm not trans if I'm not transitioning, and that's simply not true. So when I learned that I wasn't the only weirdo that feels like I'm transgendered and am transgendered, but just was hung up on the not transitioning part, it empowered me, and it gave me a sense of, I always thought I was just like a weirdo. I was like, I'm so freaking weird. Even in the way that I'm like other people, I'm kind of weird, and I don't like that, and that sucks. I don't want to be a weirdo. And it wasn't from an ego standpoint that I was like, I'm special even amongst the special people, because that's not where I was coming from. It was a point of like, I don't know if I can call myself Josh and can call myself trans if I don't ever plan on going through with it and doing what many people do and actualizing my true gender. Once I got empowered as far as that went, I was able to talk about how I am transgendered and how I am truly masculine at heart. Oh, that puppy's so cute. Oh my God, you're so cute. Anyway, he's real cute though. He's like running around, puppy. Real cute. Definitely don't let him pull you down the street though. I could help you with that. You can Google me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not making a whole ton of sense, but I'm trying to. Hang on, Caitlin. I will call you in just a minute. I'm sorry. She can't hear me. But I just want to finish this vlog real quick. So yes, I was always incredibly comfortable with the fact that I don't really identify as a female whatsoever. Switching over to the pronouns and switching my name over simply made me more comfortable. And I like it when people call me Josh. My mom doesn't quite always call me male pronouns, and she hasn't started really calling me Josh yet, but she's accepting it. It's different for her because she's my mom. But everybody else in my life, with the exception of some of my pet sitting clients, they call me Josh. And some of my pet sitting clients do too. And I didn't ask them to, but they just saw on Facebook and texted me and were like, "What up, Josh?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you guys are so dope." And I love them so hard. I'm not going to say their names because that's like a privacy thing, but like, y'all know who you are. Those babies are real cute too. And I feel honored and blessed to be living in a time where I can find comfort without having to do even the different version of mainstream thing. There are people in the trans community who will look at me and say, "You're not trans enough because you're not having that surgery." That's okay, because what someone else says about me says more about them than it does about me. I'm not defined by another person's words or actions, and I'm okay with that. I am happy to entertain questions, not about my past, because, I'm being real careful about that. I want to be respectful and be a gentleman, but also I want to focus on the positivity. But the gender stuff, you can ask me about that all you want. Yeah, it's a hard thing to talk about, but it's better that we talk about it and that you understand rather than just being afraid or being weirded out by it or just, oh, too weird, I have to go away now. And I would be sad if you went. So I'm glad and even honored that you would ask about the gender stuff, because to me, that shows that you care enough to want to know. And by caring enough to want to know about me, you honor me. Even if you didn't mean to, you still do, because my love language is words of affirmation. So when you ask me about me, that fills a love tank inside me and it honors me. And I view that as a gift. So I thank you. Which sounds real cheesy, but honestly, I do. So yeah, non-transitioning transgender started as a medical thing. Like, there were transgender folks that couldn't transition because of a medical reason. And even in the community, they were given guff over it. Even though they didn't have a choice because they weren't eligible for whatever surgeries, they just couldn't. Maybe they weren't healthy enough. Maybe they were too overweight. Maybe they were whatever. Which is another factor for top surgery. If I ever wanted to do it, I'm definitely too heavy to undergo it. Not because I wouldn't survive a surgery, but because they would be trying to contour it to a person's chest that isn't obese, and that would be potentially problematic. So I would have to lose a great deal of weight first. And I haven't. And I'm going to, but I haven't yet. And there's been a lot of change in my life, so I'm still trying to work everything out. I want to check the time. Okay, we've got a few minutes left. Can wrap this up real quick. And I don't even necessarily want top surgery right now. I'm just trying to figure out things, and oh, I thought I knew that person. And trying to be okay with myself the way that I am physically. And most days I feel okay. But some days I have dysphoria, or like if I have to use a public restroom that isn't unisex, there's some anxiety there because of the fact that I'm making others uncomfortable. And so finding a place where there's either private bathrooms or like when we go to Bigby, I use the women's restroom because it's a single stall, and legally that's the one I'm supposed to use. And I try and follow the law whenever possible. And so, but when there's like group bathrooms, I'll oftentimes go way out of my way to use a family restroom, like at the movie theater or whatever. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. The bathroom thing can be a thing, but it's not a huge thing that I can't deal with. It's just a part of. It's just an extra thought process, and it's not even daily, but that's one of the things that I deal with because I've gotten. I won't say it's unsafe, but it's unsafe because I've had altercations based on it, and had people come at me because they thought I was a guy in the women's restroom. So actually, that's one thing I can leave you guys with, and then I'll end this because it's very long and I'm running out of time. If you see someone in the bathroom that doesn't look like they belong, and they're not bothering you, and they're not even making eye contact with you, and they're just doing what they need to do and they're getting out, don't mess with them. Don't laugh at them. Don't go like they've done something to you. Like, try and be tolerant, because chances are they know where they're supposed to pee. And chances are they just want to pee and get the fuck out of there because they're uncomfortable. And that's me in a nutshell when I'm in the bathroom. I don't act like I've done something wrong, and I don't get, like, I'm not guilty, but it's tough because I know I'm making others uncomfortable, and I just have to pee. I just want to pee and get on with my shopping at the Walmart. And if there were a family restroom option, I would use it. So let's just let's just all get along in the bathrooms. And if you see someone who doesn't belong and they're not bothering anyone, just leave them alone. Because that's all we want, is to be left alone and let us do our business. I'm not trying to flaunt anything or flout anything in front of anyone's face. I just have to pee. So, that's a good stopping point, I think. But Lynn, if you have any other questions, by all means ask those. I didn't mean to sound like a jerk. I was just trying to make a even line of, like, let's focus on positivity as far as my past and relationships go, and let's just be happy. And I love that you're back and commenting, and I hope that you're well. In fact, I hope that all of you are well. And I thank you for coming and spending a part of your day with me, because you didn't have to, but the fact that you did makes me feel all warm and tingly and full of love. So thank you for that. And I love you guys. I really, really, really do. And not a single day goes by that I don't think about you peeps, and that I'm not grateful for you, and that I don't appreciate you. So, time and time again, YouTube has changed my life. So, thank you. Because you guys keep me happier and a little bit more sane and amused and entertained, and you guys are the dopest. So, do you have anything to add, Pooga? No. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for us. Much love. Peep out.